Hello everyone and welcome to Exambi. So in this video we are going to talk about DBMS architecture. From this video we are going to start a video series which will be like covering the concepts of IT, and you can learn these concepts if you are targeting any of the IT exam. So whatever concepts we are going to teach in this particular video series are applicable to all the IT sector exams. Okay, so let's start with the video of DBMS architecture. So first of all, we should understand that why we need a architecture at all. So basically database contain a lot of information which is critical, and we need a quick access to that data. So keeping that all in mind, we have to select a correct architecture in order to manage the data efficiently. To do so, we have three architecture or three types of architecture: one tier, two tier, and three tier. Okay, so as the name suggests, in one tier there are going to no layer in between the user and the server. In two tier there will be an intermediate thing, and in three tier there will be an application server. So now we are going to learn about these concepts in detail. So the very first thing is is the one tier architecture. So in one tier architecture, the database is directly available to the user, and the user can directly sit on the DBMS and use it. What we mean by directly sit on the DBMS, like we use SQL, we directly use SQL and interact with the database management system. Okay, so this type of architecture is called as one tier architecture. Currently we do not follow this in industry because that deals with something which is not so logical, and when it comes to the module wise development of the applications, this particular type of architecture is not that we usually follow. After that thing, it is a two-tier architecture, and in two-tier architecture it is very similar to the client server model. Here what we have, an application at the client end will directly communicate with the database at the server side. Okay, so how it is actually done? So the application on the client side actually establishes a connection with the server side in order to communicate with the database management system. So we will just send the request from client to the server, and we will get the response from the server. So this is the basic two-tier architecture that we follow in DBMS. Now the third thing is the three-tier architecture, and in this type an extra layer is added between client and server, and this particularly do not directly communicate with the server. Instead it interacts with the application server on the more side, and further it interacts with the database management system, and then query processing and transaction management takes place. So basically what happens here, application layer is being introduced, basically an application server, and that particular thing takes it to a next logical level from the industry perspective. So many a times in industry or in application, if it is a big and large application, we go for three-tier architecture. If it is a small one, we usually go for two-tier architecture. Now let's first understand the difference between two tier and three tier from the diagram perspective. So you can see here we have client in both the architecture, we have servers in both the architecture, and the DBMS system in both the thing. But what is the difference is the application server, and the application server is basically installed on the side of server because it is a server, and client do not directly interact with the DBMS server, rather it interact with the application server, and then application server further interacts with the database management system. So basically what happen, if we suppose there is a scenario where our application server fails, we can have a new application server and can contact our DBMS system, and also there won't be direct access to the DBMS system. So kind of security and the level of protocols that we need to apply here are more easy, I'll say. So attack things are not easy when it comes to three-tier architecture, because you have to anyhow bypass the application server in order to get access to the DBMS server. So this is the basic difference between two-tier architecture and three-tier architecture. Two-tier architecture and three-tier architecture are very robust as compared to the one-tier, and one-tier was the initial phase which we do not implement nowadays in the industry. But when we start our college projects, or let's say normal projects, we go with one-tier architecture only, and then later we migrate to two-tier and the three-tier architecture. So this was all about the DBMS architecture. In the next video we are going to talk about the EF code rules in the DBMS, which will bring us to the new topic of database management system. I hope you got some insight from this video, and you got some new knowledge which will be helpful for your exam. If you like this video, do hit the like button and subscribe the channel if you are still the unsubscribed user to get the regular update from our side. Thank you all. See you till I make the next video, and will get your response in the comment section. Till the time, keep practicing and stay updated.